Welcome to Quisitive Unite. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk a little bit about fortifying your IT department at a fraction of the cost. Appreciate your time today. A few reminders before we get started. First, feel free to ask questions. This event is for our customers. Get your questions out there, put them in the chat. We'll get them answered as soon as possible. And don't worry if you have to step away for an important phone call or something else happens. All these sessions are being recorded and will be shared with you after the event. And finally, who doesn't love free stuff? We're giving away some great prizes for our customers today, and they vary from gift cards to, hey, who wouldn't love a new coffee machine? So please fill out your survey post-session and let us know how we're doing. So thanks for taking the time today. My name is Michael Quill, and I lead Quisitive's technical pre-sales. From a background perspective, I've been in and around IT helping customers with application development, cloud services, infrastructure, security, and data for nearly 30 years. In my current role today, I talk to customers of all different sizes about how they can modify their environments, take advantage of net new technologies, and make their environments more suitable for their enterprise. But enough about me. Let's jump in and why you decided to join today's session. It's tough out there right now for our customers. A majority of our small and medium-sized businesses, they lack sufficient IT staff. Limited IT resources plague all the different industries, but certainly very acute specifically for our SMB customers. We all know that the world can be a dangerous place, and cybersecurity is at the forefront of that for all of our customers. Nearly 61% of SMBs were targeted by a cyber attack in 2021. And based on the information and the conversations I have with customers, that number has only accelerated in the last several years. And finally, costs are out of control. There are demands from the business to take advantage of the latest technologies, but unfortunately, the lack of skilled resources makes it very, very difficult for organizations to be able to effectively deploy and manage their environments. And the result is a cost overrun. And so IT sort of continues to perpetuate its reputation as a cost center instead of a partner in the profits of our business. And so as a result, you see sort of this cost containment or cost control is a really, really key topic for IT management across our customers. But what are some other challenges we see specifically for our SMB customers? There's regulatory compliance issues. Regulatory requirements are changing constantly. And so how is one organization that's already understaffed able to navigate what is, a continuously changing complex landscape with ever new requirements and frameworks arising, almost daily. If we think about sort of the challenges around AI, right? Organizations across the world are developing their own frameworks and regulatory requirements in and around that. How is it possible that IT can become really a partner to the business and support innovation and growth? Obviously, the demands of a small business are no different than our largest enterprise customers. It's just how many resources you have to accomplish those demands. And so how can technology really be a provider or an enabler for the business to open net new business opportunities, to take advantage and offer services that weren't possible previously? And finally, SMBs have a smaller environment, and how can they recover if something does happen? The notion of business continuity is very, very pronounced for our SMB customers, and it's something that we talk about with them frequently. How can they recover if something happens, whether that's a system failing, whether that's hopefully not, but in the case of a cyber attack, how can an organization recover from a cyber attack effectively to restore their operations? Right, because given the smaller scale and size of the SMB environment, the loss of a day or a week of revenue is oftentimes not a possibility for organizations to survive. And so how can our customers deal with that sort of risk and challenge? As a bit of background, I want to tell you a little bit about generally Quisitive and how we help our customers. We are a Microsoft first partner. We have broad capabilities across traditional consulting, industry-focused solutions, licensing support. Often you'll hear the term CSP or cloud solutions provider bantered around, and so Quisitive is a CSP provider for our customers. We do traditional systems integration work, whether that's integrating legacy systems, whether that's building net new capabilities for customers. But what I'm going to focus in on today is really around our managed services and strategic programs. It's very common for our customers to have a need where they realize they need a problem fixed at a point in time, but the effective way to manage that problem is to address it over time with proactive and reactive services. And so that's really where our managed services and strategic programs offer benefit to our customers. If I specifically want to think a little bit about, the managed services we offer for our SMB customers, if you think about how you are challenged from a perspective of the size of your organization, your IT organization, the team, some of the lack of skills you may have there. If you think back to the cyber risk, we've really designed solutions specifically to address that, as well as some of the other specific SMB challenges, like making IT a driver of innovation for the organization. And so, from left to right, cloud infrastructure. Obviously, many of our customers operate either entirely or primarily in the cloud. And so how can an organization manage that environment? How can they monitor that environment? How can they optimize that environment? These are all top of mind concerns for customers. And so Quisitive has developed a series of different service offerings specifically targeted at that need. Our primary one is our Azure Management Services, and that is designed, as we'll see here momentarily, to really help you manage and optimize your cloud. For the cybersecurity risks and the general security posture of your organization, Quisitive has developed our security and compliance services. The hero of that is really our managed security service, or Spyglass, as we call it. And that's, as we'll also see in a few minutes on a different slide, really helping you build and optimize that security posture across the Microsoft cloud. Of course, innovation is on the top of everyone's minds these days. The ever ability to do more with less and to create new opportunities for businesses really stems at its heart from the collection, use, and adoption of data. And so we see vast amounts of data being developed across the internet and within all of our customers' businesses. And so how do you capture and manage and then leverage that data to really make both business insights and business impact is a paramount concern for leaders in all size companies, but particularly in SMB ones. And so from a management perspective around your data, we support that within our Azure Management Services, but we also offer a bevy of different activities and project type arrangements where we can support and help your data adoption, your data modernization, and really finally the usage of that data. Obviously AI is in the news constantly for our customers and at large, and AI relies on data. And so for an effective organization strategy around AI, you must address the notion of data capture, collection, and governance. Of course, we offer business application support for our customers as well. We help them look at Dynamics as a platform, whether that's around customer service, field service, or full ERP solutions. And so we offer programs and assistance with Dynamics assessments, migration, as well as ongoing support and upgrades, and of course, board as well. And of course, the last few years have really seen an acceleration in hybrid remote work for our customers, which drove a vast amount of adoption in and around digital workplace technologies. And so we talk to customers very frequently about how to make the best use of their investment in the Microsoft 365 set of services, including Teams and Power Platform. And so would love to talk to you if you have a need for that type of solution or service in support of your organization as a growing SMB. And then underlying all of these different technologies is really our Flex Services package. And Flex Services, you can think about hands-on keyboard is really the best way to put it. It is the ability to interact with and partner with our technical experts in the entire Microsoft technology ecosystem, right? So everything from Azure to security to data to the digital workplace technologies I mentioned earlier, and sort of everything in between. And so that is an underlying component of all the services we offer across these various technical verticals around, cloud infrastructure or data and AI. Azure Management Services. I mentioned this earlier in the previous slide, sort of looking at some of the ways we help customers solve specific needs. The AMS, as it's known, and it for short, is targeted largely at cloud infrastructure service and optimization, but it definitely helps across the entire gamut of any Azure-based service, whether that's data or custom application development or application hosting. And so what AMS at its heart is really it's an expert-led service that focuses on giving you appropriate guidance around your environment that's led by a dedicated architect. They help you build a specific roadmap for cloud usage and adoption for your organization. And we bundle that into what we loosely call advisory services. And so every AMS customer has that expert guidance and recommendations available to them specific to their use case and what their business is trying to achieve. We pair that with some amount of proactive services as well, spanning 4 distinct pillars around operations, security as it pertains to your Azure environment, compliance, and automation. And those proactive services span everything from full control and support of your Azure cloud environment, all the way to just being sort of a partner in that environment and providing, monitoring services. We build our own tooling that sits atop Azure to provide enhanced monitoring to what's available in the platform. And so we'll often, be a partner to your internal IT organization if you have an existing staff. And then, of course, we pair that with the flexible cloud services I mentioned previously. And that's really the hands-on execution from our team. We are primarily focused on things around Azure infrastructure, Azure data services. Of course, AI is top of mind for everyone now. We support application development as well, but that hands-on subject matter execution is part of every AMS customer engagement as well. And so the real benefits here is, the ability to scale and expand your team to support all the various technologies you need to support in and around the Microsoft public cloud, as well as, provide very, very deep expertise. If there's, particular areas that your team is not capable of addressing, as well as take off some of the more mundane activities like, monitoring and optimization of your cloud, perhaps dealing with server patching, server or endpoint management, et cetera. And so those are all capabilities within our AMS service portfolio. The other primary proactive service I wanted to highlight today for this attended audience is really it's our security managed service offering. We call it Spyglass, as I mentioned earlier. Once again, similar concept or construct. It's really expert-led. There's a security architect assigned to your account. They know your environment. They learn about what you're trying to achieve, what some of your key challenges are as an organization. It's that security architect who's going to perform an ongoing review and analysis of security signals within your environment. It's that person that's going to lead your monthly executive security session. And so these are really targeted at the senior leaders in and around security, whether that be a CFO, a leader of IT, but someone who is held accountable within the organization for effective security management and posture. And as well as they'll lead more hands-on or tactical monthly sessions with the team. We also offer managed detection and response. Many of our customers want the peace of mind, don't have the size of staff to handle the analysis of all the various signals. I think the last statistic I read from Gartner is nearly 2/3 or 3/4 of all security information and signals are ignored because there simply aren't enough people to monitor and manage them. There's some great tooling available, but you still need some resources on your side to effectively manage and monitor the environment. And so that's a service we offer as well, both for endpoints as well as your server platform. And then similar, as I mentioned previously, our proactive services are also paired with our flexible cloud services. And so you'd have hands-on really execution from subject SMEs, the security SMEs around the implementation of the different activities needed in support of your security posture. So whether that's enabling multi-factor authentication. Perhaps that's deploying controls around information protection on your data that's stored in M365 to ensure you're not accidentally having employees send emails with credit card numbers or things of that sort. Right? All of those various different activities are things that we can address within our managed security service, Spyglass. And so that's another key area we help customers. So, if it's a overall security concern, our Spyglass service is a good bet to help your organization. And if it's more about, broad Azure and Azure modernization, then our Azure management services is a great way to start and let us help you build and react to the needs of the business. In particular, I wanted to highlight, a few of our customers. I think it's always interesting to hear from, what other customers are experiencing, what's driving them to use a firm like Quisitive to move quicker, because really at the end of the day, that's what we offer our customers. That's the value, is that having done this hundreds and thousands of times for other customers, we can really accelerate your journey. And so there was a particular healthcare enablement firm that we were partnering with, and we came in. Our account team likes to call them a large scale startup, but basically they are very much a disruptor in the home healthcare field, and they needed some assistance as they were poised for rapid expansion. And so given where they were and what the requirements of their industry, certainly plenty of regulation in and around healthcare. I think anyone who's either involved with or has ever been involved with any sort of healthcare services knows that that's a highly regulated industry for good reason. They had a need for a real partnership with an organization that could help them with their security and compliance, particularly as it related to their Azure environment. So this company was born in the cloud, and as they were looking to fuel that rapid expansion, they needed to do that in the cloud as well. And so they were very, very focused on their Azure environment. Quisitive came in, we performed an assessment of that cloud platform. We made a series of recommendations. Our team has built sort of a playbook that we run our customers through across identities and data, device, applications, et cetera, to really give them particular guidance, both on best practices, but on so unique needs of their organization, where they are, what regulatory environments they may operate within, and so we did that for this company, gave them those recommendations, then directly onboarded them into AMS, our Azure Management Services, and in which we operate their entire environment for them. So we are their full outsourced provider, supporting their operations, their monitoring, incident management, incident response, compliance controls, et cetera. As a result, we drove through that remediation list we gave them as a function of our assessment. We've really hardened their environment to the point that their security score is up exponentially from where it was when we began. And to this day, we continue to be engaged, providing both guidance around HIPAA compliance as well as broader business impact. So obviously, the regulatory compliance can't be understated. To effectively be a going concern and operate in the healthcare space, you need to maintain a certain level of compliance. But beyond that, this organization was looking to build on its disruptor philosophy, and so that has required numerous net new applications to be deployed, modernization of existing applications, as well as inclusion of new capabilities. From the usage and collection of data in their Azure environment that they're able to report on and generate insights, and now to look more even at using that data to help fuel business decisions with the application of generative AI is sort of on their current roadmap. And so that's something our team continues to be engaged with today and has helped really drive that customer forward. Another customer I wanted to point out, not necessarily a regulated industry, although if any of you golf, I'm sure you wish that there were some better rules to help you with your swing. I know I myself could always appreciate that help, but we have a customer. They are a golf manufacturer. They are certainly a world leader in that regard, and they had built a very decentralized model for their cloud usage, and so they had development teams distributed globally, and they had loose federation of management on the environment, but there was clearly no governance in place. And their biggest sort of organizational risk, certainly they were concerned about their intellectual property, their data, to make sure that it was safe and secure, but costs were spiraling out of control. You had these global development teams, rightfully trying to solve business challenges for their particular regions, but you had repetitive services being created, you have repetitive applications being created, and the costs were really skyrocketing. And so we talked to them. Clearly, they needed some assistance. We came in, we provided them an AMS advisory review to really help them establish a center of excellence in and around the cloud. And so that center of excellence is what has defined governance standards for the organization, has allowed those standards to be spread and sent back throughout the organization, right? So there's still this autonomy that can be enjoyed in the various global regions, while still having some semblance of centralized control to really provide the broad organizational benefits around cost and security. And so we have that existing AMS advisory arrangement. That architect is giving them guidance, helping them drive through that roadmap and the adoption journey, and then we're helping them execute through our flexible cloud services, or the hands-on keyboard. And so the impact here, once again, different company, similar story, production security numbers increasing drastically post the AMS deployment. So there's really the ability to look at the current state of the environment, give not only just best practice guidance, which you can certainly find pretty easily, but really the best applicable guidance specific to that environment, so that you see the benefit very quickly. And so we've seen that from a security perspective, as well as the ongoing work now is to maintain that security posture, as well as to continue to enable those global teams to do their work, while we provide additional hands-on expertise when necessary, either around sort of cloud infrastructure concerns, around data technologies, or more recently around some AI topics such as Microsoft Copilot and things of that sort. And the last case study I wanted to give you, just as a semblance to see, obviously Quisitive operates in a vast number of industries. This was a large community-owned utility that we partnered with. They were, concerned and having challenges retaining staff. I'm sure it's been a common theme in and around IT, especially in emerging IT or hot IT fields like security and data and the cloud more broadly. And so they were having really challenges in finding and retaining those staff, and they needed support really around a full gamut of concerns, right? From everything from data and custom apps all the way back to core infrastructure and some of the productivity tools that are offered in the Office 365 suite. So similar concept again. We started with an assessment, both around security as well as sort of their digital workplace, taking a moment and looking at the way their employees were trying to interact with one another, the tools they were using, how might that be improved or benefit from some new processes that are possible with some of the advanced technologies in the modern workplace. So we got a sense of the current state, and we created roadmaps that we could help sort of drive that technology adoption for them. And so we established the similar expert-led or coach-led process to really help them address the strategic challenges they were facing, as well as to work through, just more tactically the things that needed to be done to help them sort of make incremental progress on those strategic goals. And so the net effect of this the engagement and continued engagement through our security improvement program or Spyglass is that the customer was able to move securely to the cloud. They were able to sort of remove that blocker around hiring and retaining folks, because our team was able to help them augment their staff. So we offer through the process of our tactical sessions, et cetera, just working with our team, they began to upskill some of their own employees, as well as they knew they had our team as an extension of theirs, who provided that real deep subject matter expertise in those various topics, security and infrastructure, et cetera. And now today, obviously, their security posture is much higher, much more elevated. All their environments are patched, so that patching process has been relieved for them. And now they're really ready to take advantage of some of the net new technologies, right? Some of the things around cloud native development, around using some of the Azure data services to both gather and analyze their data, but then of course put that data to use either for some amount of insights to integrate that data back into custom line of business applications that this particular customer had in place, as well as to use that data to power both machine learning and some generative AI work as well. I appreciate you taking the time to hear a little bit about the different ways that the Quisitive's managed services are able to help our customers. Obviously we've talked about our broad flexible cloud services, which is really allows you to support both the performance, security, and scalability of your IT environment without having to hire an entire team of experts in and around infrastructure, security, applications, productivity, and data. Particularly in and around our flexible cloud services, we focused a little bit on our managed security service offering, Spyglass, as well as our Azure Management Services offering. And both of those are designed to really help you provide support, both proactive and reactive, for those specific use cases, right? So AMS for the Azure set of workloads, and then Spyglass or managed security really broadly around your security posture as it pertains to the Microsoft Cloud. We offer the 24/7 monitoring and support, which a lot of our SMB customers really lack, is the size and scale of a team to effectively manage and address the volume of requests and alerts that arise in and around either the Azure environment or simply security monitoring. And so that's something we can help with. But I think a real big takeaway, if you think back to the early slides about challenges SMB faces, cost containment, cost control, cost savings, a huge part of what leaders within SMBs are chartered to undertake. And there's often a real reduction in costs, either both from the licensing optimization, potentially leveraging your Microsoft investment and not needing a third party for a particular tool, or optimizing the manner in which you deploy programs and services in Azure to optimize that spend. So there are a myriad number of ways we help customers really look at their IT expenditures and find ways to streamline them. And of course, the inability or the ability to not have to hire a team of experts. As you might imagine, the usage of our flexible cloud services program to deploy that to any one of those different Microsoft technologies really is beneficial, right? Because you are benefiting from fractionalization of our resources. And so you have the particular type of expert you need when you need it, without having to have them sort of sitting around on standby for your organization's needs. Just to quickly recap some of the additional benefits, we've mentioned it a few times, especially in the customer stories, and it's one we see routinely play out. Increased security in the environment. There are endless numbers of cyber attacks, and sadly, rather than using their creativity for good, the bad actors continue to be more and more creative about how they can attack organizations. And so we spend a lot of time helping customers with security, whether that's just in Azure, whether that's broadly across their cloud ecosystem. And so we spend a lot of time helping there and really helping minimize risk. And so in all three of those customer stories we told you, one of the core outcomes for each of those customers was around an increased security posture, and likely something that your organization could benefit from as well. I mentioned the ability to draw on an expert through our own fractionalization, and so the ability to scale your IT department and your IT skill set sort of on demand is a huge benefit for many of our managed service customers, to know that they've got one of Quisitive's 800 employees who have expertise in and around data, or particularly around infrastructure or security or productivity tools or Power Platform. We haven't mentioned that one much today, but we certainly help a lot of customers with sort of no code, low code technologies. And so just that endless scalability, Quisitive being a Microsoft only partner, that is our core focus. And so our entire team is made up of, very, very deep, very seasoned experts in a particular set of Microsoft technologies. And so that's a real benefit. I mentioned before how our two proactive services, AMS and Spyglass, both are expert led, and that strategic guidance that we offer customers. We often for SMB customers can be viewed as a virtual CIO or a CIO advisor, where we're able to come in and provide, based on our experience helping hundreds or thousands of customers sort of solve particular use cases or challenges. We come in and we deploy that wisdom to your problems. And so we're able to give you guidance about, how you can achieve your business goals most efficiently, most effectively. And so that's a real benefit. And of course, you want to be in a position where you can say yes to the needs of the business. And so the best way to do that is to have a team that can quickly come in and secure your environment, have it established and optimized, and then support you in the adoption of some of those latest technologies. Digital transformation is what I talk to customers about virtually every day. And so how do you use the latest technology to really, make your customers more satisfied, make your employees happier, or generate new revenue, new business models? And of course, you need to be able to deploy the latest technology for that, and for that to be effective and really drive your business forward, it needs to be secured and managed, and have a team of folks who understand the latest technology, which can be very difficult for our smaller customers to build and have that capability internally. So thanks again for your time today. I hope you put the questions in the chat. If you have more, if the idea comes to you later today or in another session, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help. You can reach us all these different ways. Our website via ask@quisitive.com, or good old-fashioned way, you can give us a call. We're happy to have a chat, have a video call to figure out how we can help. Because fundamentally that's what we like to do. We have a team of people who want to help our customers solve their most interesting and vexing challenges, and hopefully we can do that for you too. So thanks for your time today. Please take a moment, fill out your survey on the session. Remember, you get entered in the drawing, so hopefully you win the coffee machine. All right, thank you so much for your time today. Have a wonderful day.